Start with you, kind of introduce ourselves. If we work for the district, I appreciate having Ken here as one of our board members. I don't think we have any other board members here, so Ken, thank you for being here. Brian, you know, just your name and role.
Brian Schumer, Gary Verslois, oversee secondary education.
Lori Ross, oversee elementary.
Ken Enlow,
Board.
Ryan Burns, Director of Communications. Brenda Hatfield, Director of Process. Shelby Scarborough, Resource Director.
Chris? Thank you. Scott? Okay. We're all in this together, so thank you guys for being here. We appreciate whatever they do. Carrie is going to give us an update on Capital City, Jeff City High School, and Dale's here as well. If we have any specific high school questions, I hope we can ask. We want to do that now, or do you want to go ahead and start in the... I'll just go ahead and before this too? Yeah. Before the jump drive does. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, you're good. So while he's doing that, there are still some, I had somebody say, so what are they building out there? We're building Capital City High School. And starting this fall with freshmen and sophomores at Capital City High School. This fall, with renovations coming to Capital City High School. So it's a combination. We are progressing. We're excited about that. So Carrie's with Architects Alliance. We have 3 Architects Alliance, kind of spearheading here as our local architect, but then also assistance through ACI Boland and the DLR. So Carrie?
That's right. In fact, the team that's working on this with the contractor I was going to highlight again. Like Larry said, we have the Architects Alliance here locally working with the owner and contractor for sort of immediate responsive needs. ACI Boland is our partner that's primarily responsible for interpretations and answers to contractor questions for the construction documents. And then DLR is our partner that helped with the original concepts. Every once in a while when we're making a revision or talking about the project, we have to go back to the original notes from the district staff and faculty to see what was the original concept and make sure that's carrying through. Locally, we have Central Missouri Professional Services that's helping with all the earthwork for the project. They also have on their team Bartlett and West and Engineering Surveys and Services. Those firms are helping with other site design items as well as testing and inspections to turn into the City of Jefferson Code Department. The other partner is Santee Becker, and they are the food service consultant. We just had a meeting yesterday going over with the faculty staff or with the cook staff on the details of the kitchen and making sure they understand what's coming. And that stuff is on the way. By the way, it'll start as soon as school's out. When's school out this semester?
22nd, I think.
Does it actually start, is that when it starts, Dale? Is that when the demo starts for the kitchen area?
The kitchen area will start, so the kitchen equipment will start rolling out later the 13th to get that kitchen a little bit early.
Gotcha. And that's quite an operation because some equipment that's fairly new or very new, we will save and reuse. Other stuff gets taken to surplus, sold, or other means. On Jeff City High School, I'll start with that. Local contractors that are on site include AAA Masonry, Don Schneider's Excavating, Harold G. Butzer, Meyer Electric, Questech Constructors, and Circle Contracting. Other regional contractors that are still in the Central Missouri area would be A&H Steel Erectors and TJ Weiss Contracting. Work continues in Area F, which is, for those of you that know the building, it'll be facing where the old tennis courts were, the science wing. That is, I guess the demolition is done, framing's going up, ductwork's going up, drywall's going up, and masonry's going up. The Naples was able to get partially through the Little Theater renovation, enough to abate it, pour the new floor, paint the walls. There's still more equipment coming in, but right now it's being temporarily used by students as part of the staging, moving kids around to renovate different areas of the building. The connector between the two is, what area is that called? Is that A, B? C and D. C and D, and I'll flip through these slides in just a minute, but that area right between the two buildings. This is started, that'll be the front entrance from on J Drive, and the other entrance on Union Street. What else can I tell you? Oh, that is the floor slabs are poured, structural steel still being erected, and work in the courtyard continues. The courtyard hasn't really been used that much over the years. It's being expanded into with outdoor dining and three more classrooms. The real function that was built there initially was to get light penetrating into the classrooms. The new elevator tower at J.Ed Drive and Lafayette is underway. Let's see. I mentioned before Harold Butzer was on site there, right now working on Area F ductwork. Meyer is also in Area F. Let's see, what else can I tell you? The labor and materials incurred last month, the amount of work done last month totaled $2.7 million. That is an incredible amount of work to occur in 1 month, you can imagine. And hats off to Naples for that. Major trades on site at Jeff City High School. The excavator is work, that's Don Schneider's Excavating. They're on Union Street. You can see the auxiliary gym going up. Structural steel, mechanical ductwork, electrical rough-in, and rough plumbing. So in whole, when you look at the entirety of Jeff City High School, it's 35% complete. In addition to the connector in the gym, there's still significant renovations, about 20 classrooms at a time happening inside the building. Capital City High School, local contractors on site, AAA Masonry, Harold Butzer, Kaiser Electric, Missouri Builders, Prost Builders, Questec, and Twee House Excavating. And then more regional firms that are there, Bloomsdale, Imhoff, Mid-America Golf is there prepping for the outdoor athletic fields, and Roast Landscaping. Drywall is hung in most areas of Capital City High School. Painting's begun. You'll see paint in some of these photographs. Door frames in place, all exterior windows in place, interior windows and frames are ongoing. If you can remember, phase one is different from phase two. There's heavy concentration on phase one to turn over the commons area, admin, one floor of classrooms. Other work will come online, which will be the other classrooms and gymnasium will come online in January. The monumental stair, which is another classroom spot, is poured now, and you'll see that in the photographs. First layer of plywood has been added. Special inspections continue by CMPS and ES&S. Major work trades underway: earthwork, polishing, concrete, structural steel, masonry, rough carpentry, metal wall panels and glazing, roofing, a little bit of roofing, framing and drywall, painters, fire suppression, plumbing, HVAC, electrical. So as an overall, the average, some are higher and some are lower in completion, but the average of Capital City High School is 64% complete. If you know anything about construction, that is working at warp speed for 64% complete of a new building since when they started. And there's still an excellent safety record maintained on both sites. Over at Capital City, you'll notice topsoil is being returned to around the building. Basis for exterior lighting is going in. You'll notice sidewalks are now extending out to the parking lots. We also, I guess, when I say it, through stewardship of the board, the staff, Naples, and the design team, it looks like we're going to be able to go a little bit beyond just a football practice field, but perhaps also be able to build soccer, baseball, and tennis over there. So we are working on the documents to get to the contractor for that. And in the valley then will be soccer, football, tennis, baseball, softball combination, and sports lighting. And that's, again, I should mention, that's master plan for other facilities in the future, practice facilities, concessions, restrooms, things like that. Meanwhile, work continues in the areas that our students are moving into in August, September. The other areas remaining are still underway: gymnasium, aux gym, locker rooms, lower and upper level classrooms, and fine arts areas. This is obviously the main entrance of Jeff City High School. Wrestling building, Nichols, new construction, Fleming Fieldhouse, kitchen. I took this picture because you can see a stream of kids. So this is at when class is changing. This happens, I guess, every hour. Massive amount of kids going back and forth. They're fenced off, they can't get into the construction area, and obviously the contractors are staying away from them when they're changing class. Next slide. Do I have control of that? Sorry. So again, you can see students coming up here, going into Nichols, and going in right there. There's also the reception area has been moved to just inside that door, a half a flight of stairs up. That's how the building's controlled now. This is a little bit closer. You look, that's the main entrance. You see Fleming Fieldhouse. Here's the current admin area. This will be the new connector going across. This is a canopy coming out to get you out of the weather. It's raining.
So next year, that connector won't be done, but we will have a way for students to go back and forth. Is that right? Right. So that the students going around those steps like they're doing today, hopefully will go away. They'll just use the connector here.
We anticipate there being effectively a protected tunnel built there while they finish up the building.
We're in preparation to discussing with our department and city.
Okay, great. You can see while this new construction, this is that canopy going out. There's also work going up the ceiling, the roofing on the cafeteria being installed now. Next. This is taken from the second floor of Nichols, looking down into the connector. So this down here would be the library. Up here would be a technology loft. Next. This is a typical classroom in Nichols Career Center. You can see that we started taking some things out. This is basically, with the exception of the floor, this is what Nichols' typical corridors were before the project started. And that's the same corridor, one floor up, or one floor down. That's a completed corridor at Nichols Career Center. That's a duplicate photograph. It's a triplet. Not sure what's going on there. This is, sometimes when areas are finished, they have to be temporarily used as swing space. So this is a student commons gathering area for Nichols Career Center. And it's currently being used, currently being used by a class until that class is finished. This is right outside the culinary. This is the culinary arts department right here.
Some music classes are using that space.
Music, I thought that, but I didn't see any.
Not there, I didn't either.
I couldn't see any. I thought it was music, but I couldn't see
Could
any.
be a general music classes.
Good. Thanks. Area F, which is where the science labs are, facing out northward or eastward, depending on where you're from, over the parking lot. This is a typical corridor, what's going on today. So you can see the lockers are out. You can see the ductwork going in. You can see new doors and frames going in. Next. This is the same hall at the other end. Again, this is work ongoing. This is actually standing in a science lab. Science labs don't move, they just get a little bit of renovation. And then that's a typical corridor. Literally, those two photographs were taken 5 feet from each other. It's just there's a protective barrier between them, separating construction students. It's more the same. This is one level up. Color system is horizontal. The colors are coded. Floor plans, so the student knows where they are. In Capital City, they're color coded vertically for the education towers.
Gary,
Yes, sir.
while you're talking about colors, I've been in the building during the school day events, and I hear some comments about, let's deal with the colors.
Yep.
And so I think people will realize the full color scheme, once the commons areas get completed, they see all the red and black kind of graphics that were really not just an academic means.
That's correct. The school spirit will be very strong in each of the buildings. Capital City High School would be the blue and silver, JC would be black and red. These are educational areas to help kids navigate where they are in the academic spaces.
And those colors match up between the AC building and Nichols, is that correct?
Yes.
So if you're on the blue level at AC,
Yes, sir.
complimentary level.
Yes, sir.
This is level 4 of the high school that we're
Yeah, this was finished before the kids came back. Now, it is temporarily closed in here. They need those temporary classrooms. But that's swing space and collaborative space when the project's completed.
then that will go on with Nichols,
Next.
which is actually level 2.
This is taken from the second floor of the high school. Looking south, you can see the rock down here. That extended, this is that outer courtyard. Works on there. There's pretty tall retaining walls behind this piece of equipment. They have to be completely rebuilt or deteriorated. And patch and repair on some of the retaining walls. Next. This is a little theater. That's the condition it's in today. The floor has been leveled. The ceilings have come out. The space has been abated. It's got some paint on it. After school's out this spring, this will be vacated again and finished out. And it will be a black box theater like the theater at Capital City High School. This is the courtyard. Again, up here is the cafeteria. This is that hallway. It's blocked in for protection right now, but pushing out to this line will be 3 classrooms and an eating level on top of that. So this is pretty tight working quarters in that quarter. This is JF and Lafayette, starting the elevator tower in that corner. These are the science labs over here. This is from the parking lot down by the roundabout. So obviously you see little theater, there's students in here. There's the courtyard, Fleming Field House. And right here you can see the auxiliary gym and locker rooms going up, which that will be the school shelter. Just a closer shot of that. That's overbuilt to be a shelter. This is from Union Street. This is the connector between Nichols and the high school. So you can see it pretty tight quarters right now. Don Schneider's excavating is doing that work. So this will be approaching from the student parking at the stadium. Gymnasium will be here. Lobby, elevator, stairs will be here. And outdoor terraces will be there. More the same. That's the overbuilt shelter. That's a toilet. This is from the south side of Nichols Career Center, looking over at. So just over this hump is where the gym's being built. Connectors in between those two. This is Capital City High School. And you can see the.
Gary?
Yes, sir.
Any questions, small through here with, on Jeff City High School while we're here before we go on the next one? May or may not. Dale, anything you touch on from your lines? Dale's been overseeing the project, manager there, examples.
Other than this little bit of great work and the whole construction here.
Thank you. And I would just share, it is a huge, I just want to, I guess we're online here, not right here. Thank our staff at the high school and then our students. I mean, you undertake a renovation at your house. I've not done but I've heard marriage, trials on your marriage, trials on everything. When you go through things, continuing to have education at level of weeks, trying to continue to improve and raise the bar while construction is going on. We appreciate the patience by our school. Challenging, and we know it. So I just want to thank the coordinator and the patience that our folks have shown. Undertaking this just done a tremendous online, I guess, or to our not here. We will do that and make sure. Give that little.
And frankly, contract design team couldn't do their work. This construction phase could not do their work without getting all the faculty, Frank Underwood his crew is tied up a lot with this. We have a job too, so it has been an enormous amount of coordination, more than I've ever had. You know,
And when I said Jacob, I oversee Jason, is that fair to say? A lot of folks, you would say someone you leave out to kind of work assistant principal, just the project and the transition, all our administrators. Jacob, they just did a tremendous job.
and like I said, just yesterday we were meeting with food service staff to again go over the how they're going to land in the building, anything that they have, how that goes in. Same thing. Jake. This is the high school. You can see all the exterior up. Very entrance for tells you something. This used to be solid rock. Sitting on rock. Topsoil's being brought back in and sidewalks around the building.
Shoes messed up. All right, going in.
That door you just saw the picture of is walking in there. And the reason I always take this picture is this is in the so again, the is making it bright here inside. There is going out towards student parking. Again, in the lowest level. This is coming out into the main relations space of the lobby and commons. To your right would be the sports fields. This is what I referenced earlier, monumental stair. Stair for egress. This is seated terraces, so a class or gathering can happen there. Space. This is one of the wing going to one of the active hours. This is now you see here's the top of that monumental to the student commons. This is side for dining to spill out into the central area. There's some more student commons area. There'll be shelves for students to sit there and electronic devices. Beyond that wall is the gymnasium and auxiliary gym. And again, you see the monumentals. This is a peek inside the gymnasium. It won't be finished this semester, but it will be finished semester. It's a track around. This will be one of those areas I should have mentioned. One of those areas that's very strong school spirit, colors, and graphics. Very good gym. Another one of the counters. Student dining area. From the student dining area into major circulation. This is at the end of that, on the second floor, at the end of that open space in the center of the building. You can see football going on here. You see the track coming around, and soccer's beyond. You see some work down here. That's those additional fields that I mentioned earlier. So,
What fields are we going on besides football?
football and soccer.
So now we're going to baseball and
Yeah, it's a, if you look now, there's, it drops quite, the grade drops quite a bit, but you'll see flat areas in that valley now. That's being worked on for tennis and baseball, softball. And that's just over that hill. Ball field. Now, we were just looking at the football field. This is looking back into the building. So, formal entrance and admin and counseling are right there. That's dead center. Again, to the right, food, kitchen, counseling, admin, and entrance to the building. This is another one of those light wells going down again. This is why the basement doesn't feel like a basement. And you see the colors that Dale mentioned. This one, the colors are vertical, depending on where you're on the building. Next. The bathrooms are moving away from the building, and we're in here, and now we're out here. So you know there's work happening here. No, that's a, can you go back now? No, that's a side entrance towards Student Park. This is that same side, looking over to the left. So the main entrance is up over here. Academic wing, admin, and sped here. This is an outdoor patio with doors right off the student commons. But then there's this, the gate. So this is not accessible from the public, but it's a way for the students to get outdoor heat. In effect, remember those dining rooms at JC High School and the courtyard classrooms and the outdoor dining? This is the same thing over here. It's secured there. This is coming up from, I always say Frog Hollow. Creek Trail, thank you. This is coming up from Creek Trail. So again, this is the academic wings, admin, main entrance. This is if you're in the visitors parking lot. This will be glass. Counseling, admin, have a view of the
That's the main entrance.
I'm sorry?
That's the main entrance.
Yes, did I say that? Yeah, that's the main entrance. So it's a large building. When you drive up, it'll look like a one-story building.
East side of the building looking west.
This is, if you have
Gym.
visitors parking, this is as if you were driving in from the roundabout at the hospital. Yes, there's a, I'm on city streets here, but there is a drive down below going towards football field. Really, there's parking on several sides. This is where a visitor would have to go to get into the building. But, for example, a band trip, they would come in and out of here. Food would be delivered there. On the other side, on the back side, is the largest student parking lot. There's also one immediately to the left here. That answer your question?
I might just, from a bigger picture, if you're coming from Columbia to a sporting event, you will get on 179 and you get off Mission Drive at the roundabout, and you can come here on the drive to City Street, which is on the east side of this, which goes down to Frog Hollow or Cradle Tree. Or you can get off at Edgewood, come over, turn there by Brick House Valley, and turn and come up, and then hit this street on the east side, Cabaret Drive on the east side of the school. So there'll be an access on that side, and then also from Mission.
Those two exits off the roundabout, so one would go down
One's the street.
behind high school, the other would go to the connector drive that goes all the way up.
So where you're standing right here, to your left is the hospital.
There will
To
be.
the right, that's Creek Trail. I'm actually standing in the street.
It's challenging to build a picture, Steve, I get that, and it's,
Yes, someone from out of town will come up and mission. And right now, I'm going backwards, going from the school up to the roundabout.
So there's not people that were,
where's not built.
it's right there on the backside.
To the roundabout,
Yeah.
there's already a road that goes over to a residential area. Yeah.
But there's
Yeah, you can
stuff,
actually- If you take that other spur off the roundabout, you can get to Highway C.
but there's a future plan for a street, because we built the stub off of Cavalier Drive.
That's good feedback. Plan for the city.
And also, they recognize that that will change significantly, and whether a light is needed, that conversation, so that is in the plans potentially if needed, and spearheading for us.
This is the sidewalk up by the roundabout. So where the sign, this was band, food service, auxiliary gym, main gym, academic calendars.
So you're looking north from St. Mary's, is that correct?
Yes. This is if you're going up Mission Drive from 179. On this picture, I'm standing on Mission Drive. The hospital is behind you, so if you're looking from the hospital that direction, that's what you see. School and football, and then the fields of the valley. 179 is to the left of this picture. The roundabout at the top of the hill, Mission is to the right.
If you're a directional person, that's northeast.
Yeah.
My wife would not be related to that.
This is further down Mission Drive, football and soccer, other fields beyond. Any questions?
Yeah, thank you. A lot of different parts to it, obviously. I appreciate Carrie, and I appreciate the updates. That's one thing that throughout the campaign, we said we were going to give monthly updates. And if it's not going to be, July, as in this July, then, oh my, when did this happen? We've had bumps along the way. We'll continue to have bumps. We're just trying to be proactive. I appreciate their communication. Dale, all the folks that it takes. Jason from an operations standpoint, and all the folks. But there's a lot of folks involved with that. But just trying to be transparent and give updates along the way. So any other questions on JC High School or Capital City High School?
Just sit back and look at how much work goes into the editing part of the school. Even together, it's amazing how much work has to go in. People do it, work with me, there's one, something like that.
Okay, so I want to bring up, so since our last coffee here a month ago, our Board of Education approved the start and end times of our schools starting this fall. All of our elementary schools, and just a quick summary, our schools have started from 8 o'clock to 8:15 to 8:30 to 9 o'clock. And because of that, there's a lot of challenges that presents itself, from the inability to have a tiered busing system across the board, and we can be better stewards of patrons' money. One of our 3 pillars is stewardship, and so just the start times alone of having some consistency. Staff development, to meet with all the second grade teachers here at the Miller Center after school for a half hour regarding an initiative, or where are we on our reading progress. We are not able to do that because our second grade teachers across the board, for example, end at different times. So we're excited about the opportunity that presents itself. Our secondary, the recommendations of after an 8:30 start time, just as far as developmentally, with our students, was an important part of that, and so we're excited about that. So the start times, our elementaries will all start at 7:45, they'll dismiss at 2:45. Both high schools, Capital City and Genesee High School, start at 8:40, and then both our middle schools will start at 8:50. So that's where we're at on our times. Working through with our staff, having some consistency as far as when their expected work times. They're working through that. Lori and Gary with their elementary and secondary. And the daycare. That was a big piece of folks that have done things a certain way and actually change that. So trying to be proactive with that. Had many conversations. Looking at, we had a meeting this morning working with the Boys and Girls Club, which we've had a great partnership with that. We want to strengthen that. The YMCA, and then all our local daycares. Brenda Hatfield kind of spearheaded contacting 65, and literally 65 of our daycares here in the area, and determining, hey, what's working, what's not, how can we work better, and here's our times, and how will you work with us changes, et cetera, and then being a proactive through Ryan and our communications department to our parents and educating them, one, on opportunities they have, that we have, and how that would work better together. So that's kind of where we are now as far as the next big thing. We know parents have been contacting us. Hey, when are the times? What's the school going to provide? What opportunities do the Y and the Boys and Girls Club that they currently take advantage of, that may change, and just kind of working through that. So there's a lot of different parts to that, but we're excited to move forward with that going forward. So any questions or anything I need to touch on that? There's a lot of different pieces to that. Anything else I need to get in, or questions you might have, or Brian, anything from your lens that we need to touch on? Any questions on that? Okay, well, that will start this fall with all of our schools. So we're looking forward to that, and realizing that we'll need to be proactive as we work through that process. What I want to do here, we have many things going on as a school district. So I just kind of wanted to have, when you have a coffee with it, to be able to have conversations and folks feeling comfortable that they can have discussions. And so I want to just highlight a couple things that we have going on, and then just basically Q&A and ask questions. And if you specifically, if there becomes a lull per se, and then that our folks that work for the district, from an elementary standpoint, if you have elementary questions, or secondary, Brian's our chief of learning, communication-wise, facility-wise, operations, CFO, if you have board questions, just different things that of our folks that work here, toward I want you to feel comfortable, have coffee, and hey, just say, why are we doing this? Or have you thought about this? Or what can we do to get better? So we're just trying to raise the bar and become a premier school district, and give all of our students hope for a better tomorrow. So with that being said, so as we look at our start and end times, we have a board meeting next Monday. I want to invite all of you to our board meetings. We meet on the second Monday of each month at 6 p.m. Had a recent election. One of our incumbents, Lorelei Schwartz, and Stephanie Johnson was not an incumbent, will be a new board member that will be sworn in, and those results certified this Monday night. So congratulations to those. I had somebody yesterday said they were going to run for the board next year, and I always encourage folks to get involved through whether you want to run for the Board of Education, but come be a part of these coffees, our board meetings, which will be next Monday night. Finishing the school year strong. Here we are in April. I can't believe it's already where it is, and but time is moving along in preparation for starting school this fall at Capital City High School. The excitement of that, and then just the transition-wise of going from having a freshman center and then a 10 through 12 to 2 9 through 12 buildings at the secondary level, while we're still trying to improve our K through 8 processes. One other thing I'll touch on, we had a facilities committee meeting last night, and with that when I came to the district 4 years ago, there was discussion, there was a long-range facilities committee about we have K through 12 overcrowdedness, and we've addressed the 9 through 12 overcrowdedness per se with the opening of Capital City High School this fall, but we still have overcrowding at our K through 8. So we're just looking at, we're at the very early stages trying to be proactive. We want to make sure in the Capital City High School and Jeff City High School, and make sure we do those well. We're not looking to raise taxes. Anything that we might do in the near future from my lens, if we did bring before the voters, would be a no tax increase bond issue if we did do anything, and we're not saying that we are, but as we consider and look at options from a K through 8 space needs and overcrowdedness as we move forward, we have needs, and we recognize different parts of that. From a early childhood, we put in early childhood preschool at Callaway Hills Elementary. That's something that's gone very well, and we're looking what would that look like in all of our elementary schools. Our poverty rate continues to climb, and class sizes, that's an important part of trying to keep those reduced and have those smaller class sizes. So those are things that we're just early stages, but just trying to be proactive with those. So any questions on big picture stuff of that that you have at this time? Okay, why don't we, please stay around, we'll stay as long. We got coffee, we may need to make another pot, potentially. depends how long folks want to stay here. But just to, our folks will be that introduce themselves and work for the district. Any questions, please ask them. Questions, concerns, anything. We're trying to move forward, and I just appreciate everyone being here. We believe we're stronger together, and just working through this. So thank you for coming, and we'll just kind of continue. We'll be around and mosey around here as you please. So thank you guys again for coming. Okay, thank you.